There was once a woman in her late 40s who had been battling cancer for years. Treatments had drained her strength, her savings, and her will. One night in the hospital, with machines beeping around her, she whispered, "There's nothing left in me." In another city, a man lost his job of 20 years overnight. The company folded, and so did his confidence. Days turned to months, and bills piled up. Rejections stung harder each time. In these two cases, both have given up hope because in their minds it was the end of the road as recovering from these situations were impossible. Ezekiel was in a similar circumstance, almost like a dead bone. Then God asked Ezekiel, "Son of man, can these bones live?" Ezekiel said, "Sovereign Lord, you alone know." God wasn't done. Just as God commands Ezekiel to prophesy life to the bones, we too are called to engage with His Word and rely on His Spirit for rejuvenation and renewal. The assurance that God can breathe life into the most hopeless situations resonates deeply, reminding us that with God, nothing is impossible. A few months later, the woman with terminal stage cancer walked out cancer-free. Not just healed, but revived. Like dry bones, life had returned to where none seemed possible. Out of nowhere, the man who lost his job and left with no hope suddenly got a small business idea. Once ignored, turned into a thriving shop. He was building again. Life had been spoken over dry bones. We all go through such seasons. A teenager walks away from her family and faith, breaking a mother's heart. A manager grows cold, creating an impossible workspace for a faithful employee. A young father lies on his bed, wrestling with anxiety so loud he can't hear hope anymore. These moments feel like a valley of bones, lifeless, scattered, too far gone. And then, this question from God echoes, "Son of man, can these bones live?" What a powerful moment. Ezekiel, standing in a valley of death, doesn't fake confidence. He says, "Sovereign Lord, you alone know." That's not doubt, it's surrender. It's admitting that when all we see is ruin, only God knows what restoration looks like. This is the God we believe in, the one who brings beauty from ashes, the one who breathed life into Adam, calmed raging seas, raised Jairus' daughter, and most of all, raised Jesus from the grave. So whether you're sitting in a hospital, a boardroom, a broken home, or an empty room wondering if joy will ever return, remember this: God can bring life where life seems impossible. He doesn't just repair, He resurrects. And maybe today, He's waiting for you to hand over your bones, your fear, your pain, your dead-end story, and let Him speak life again. If you're still breathing, He's not finished. Will you let Him breathe into you? Amen.